Welcome to this week's Dream Car judging video here at BOTB. We'd now like to hand over to today's lawyer from Onside Law who'll oversee the proceedings.
My name's Charlie Hanson from Onside Law and I'll be overseeing the judging this morning. Firstly, I can confirm that the competition data has already been sent to the auditing company Assets. I would now like today's judges to introduce themselves and using the secure link provided, mark on the screen where they think the centre of the ball should be. The group will then come to a final panel decision.
Good morning, my name is Matt Cannon. I'm a senior candidate referee and footballer.
Good morning, my name's Andy Braithwaite and I'm a football referee, mentor and licensed observer.
Good morning, my name is Leo Donnellan. I'm an ex-professional football player, having been with Chelsea, Fulham and Leyton Orient.
Good morning, my name is Alain Gomard. I'm an ex-professional football player, having played for Paris Saint-Germain, Newcastle and Fulham.
My name's Liam Walsh. I'm a retired referee, currently an FA observer and head coach for the Middlesex Referees Academy.
Good morning, my name's Hugh Gilroy. I'm a referee, mentor, tutor and observer.
Hi, my name is Kieran Fitzgibbon. I played football for more than 30 years. I'm now a referee.
Hi, my name's Renee Hector and I'm a coach for Watford FC Women Development and I coach for Tottenham Hotspur Foundation.
Judges, please now come to a final panel decision. For your reference, the larger white cross is the calculated average of the 8 individual selections.
Thank you very much, Charlie. Good morning, everybody. Before I draw some lines in, I'm going to come to you, Liam. There's your orange cross in the mix of everything. If you could explain what you're seeing in the photograph, please, trajectory of the ball, and then how you reached your decision, please.
Yes, thanks. Good morning, Matt. 3 players in shot, 2 of which are active in what you'd say would be challenging for the ball. I feel the ball is dropping in virtually vertically because due to the fact of the guy in green, how he's shaping up to jump. He's just basically getting up. Ball slightly in front of him. He's doing that, I think, as players refer to it, he is hanging in the air, waiting for the ball. Eyes, as I said, the eyes are up. His head's tilted back. He's looking, directly above him, but the ball is just slightly in front of him. As has been alluded to in the past, you head the ball with your forehead, but you look through the centre of the ball. The sporting evidence, the guy in red, he's coming in, he's going to challenge, but I think he's just looking to, he's just going to put a physical challenge into the guy in green. Body leaning slightly back. So he's tilting, he's getting that's what's giving me the height. His eyes looking up, there's clear white underneath his left eye. The summary, I couldn't, his right eye's slightly closing, whether he's worried about this flaying arm from the guy in green. And his brows furrowed as well. That supports the evidence that the ball is, up. And that's about me. That's where the lines intersected for me this morning.
Yeah, and green to head the ball, do you think?
Yes,
yeah.
Yes. Most important thing. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
The green is to head the ball.
Great. Okay, so I'll draw some lines up. We've got Andy's a little bit further out to the left, and then we've got a few on the right hand vertical up. At least 3, I think. And then from this player, we have a higher line. I use this eye, although you can't see it incredibly well. Okay, so I'll go from the bottom up. So we have Hugh. Oh, no, bottom up's Renee. Renee, there's your pink cross there. You're ever so slightly at the bottom of the main set of choices. How did you get to this position?
Yeah, completely agree. Obviously, 3 players in shot, 2 challenging and 1 onlooker. I think it's one of those challenges where the ball's potentially already been in the air and then somebody's already headed it and it's almost bounced directly up and coming back down, and the player in green is just trying to get something on it to try and win the ball first. I think the player in red and white is a little bit late and is just sort of almost trying to jump into the challenge shoulder to shoulder to put something on it to try and put the player in green off, but realises he probably can't get to the ball. I think the player in green is I think both players are already off the floor. Player in green's looking sort of straight up. So I'd put my cross in almost in between where his two eyes are. And then the player in red and white, I think he is looking quite high. I think he's obviously on a lot lower trajectory than the player in green. Obviously, he's got his right eye squinted. I agree with what Liam said. I think he's just trying to sort of protect himself from that flailing arm. But I felt like because they're both in the air, the impact is relatively imminent, but it's still got a little bit of distance to travel. So that's why I put my cross there.
Okay, thank you very much. And Leo, you can see your own yellow cross there just next to Rene's. What did you see?
Yeah, hi, Matt. Yeah, I agree with the judges. I think the player in green is going to win this challenge. He's going to head the ball. We got a view of both his eyes. He's looking directly above himself, and he's going to head the ball. The player, I got my height from the player in red. I think he's looking, obviously a little bit steeply, but not too high. He's not going to get to the ball, and like the other judges said, I think he's just late coming into the challenge, or he's just misjudged the flight of the ball. But the player in green is going to hit the ball.
Yep, thank you. And now we'll come to you next, Hugh. You're just a bit to the right from Rene, and Leo's but a little bit higher up. What did you see?
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, very similar. I think for me, green player's going to win it. He's jumping up to head it. I think the red player is going to be late, I think, as Rene said. So for me, I just went slightly in front of him and also to the right, because I think he's gonna jump up and head this, so he's gonna come through and meet it with his head. So I didn't think, as we've said before, he could be looking straight up through his forehead. I thought it was slightly in front for him to be able to jump and head it. But I still think, he still hasn't pulled his arms back to meet the ball. So I still think there's a bit of time till he meets it. He's kind of set with his arms, but he's not yet prepared to head the ball.
Okay, thank you. And just above you is yours, Kieran. Yours is the light blue cross there that's magnified. Just above Hugh's on the same trajectory up from the player in green. Do you agree?
Yes, good morning, Matt. Thanks very much. I agree exactly with what the judge said. I haven't really got much else to offer. The only thing I would say is I did consider at first whether the ball might be going over the head of green, whether it would make the header, but the player in red and white to me suggests that he's looking at the ball and the green the player in green going to head the ball, and that's why I felt it is dropping in at that unusual angle that's been mentioned. But otherwise, I agree exactly with what the judges have said so far.
Yep, thank you. And Alain, you're just to the right and a little bit lower than Kieran's is your dark blue cross. How did you get to your position?
Yeah, no, I also agree with what's been said. I think the ball is dropping steeply towards the player in green. I think it's still he's not at the top of this jump. I think he's still on his way up, and he's gonna his forehead is gonna be the ball. Agree also with the player in red and white. I think there's a bit of white at the bottom of his left eye, so he's looking up diagonally. I don't think he's going to challenge the ball. I think he's going to jump and try to disturb the play in green. Yep.
Thank you. And then we'll come to myself next, and then to Andy. So I've gone a little bit higher. Again, I agree that the ball's dropping in. I think it's a little bit further in front of the green player than the picture suggests, but it's coming in, and he's just vertically jumping straight up. I don't think he's reached the top of his jump. I think he's going to pull his arms back and head it away. And I wasn't sure about this player in red and white personally. I didn't think he was actually coming in to challenge. He just looks like he's sort of out of position and grimacing as the ball. He's sort of misjudged it. And whether I don't think he's actually going to challenge for the ball. I just think he's on the floor, to be honest with you, and just turning to see. And I've taken all the information from this left eye, and I've got a little bit of white underneath that. So I've gone a little bit higher with the ball dropping in. And then that leaves you, Andy. You're just a little bit further away on the same height line as me from the player in red and white, but a little bit further to the left. What did you see?
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, obviously I'm isolated out here today, and I understand my inevitable fate. But I believe that the guy in green, yes, he's favourite for the ball. And again, as you just alluded there, I feel that he's the only one actually going for the ball. I just felt that he's got a way to jump. And he's going to be arching slightly backwards to come up to meet the ball, so like pulling his head backwards to come forwards, if you like. Looking at his both of his fists, he's clenched, so he wants to. He knows the guy in red and white is coming in, especially from the left. His left arm is more raised, more for protection, I believe, rather than the two arms coming up together to pull yourself through. So he's definitely going to head the ball. The guy the guy on the right in red and white, very, very sort of half passive. He knows there's going to be a collision. I don't think he's got any chance to play the ball, and I think he just really wants to put the guy in green off. So I think he's basically going to try and collide with him to put him off. But as I say, the guy in green and white, is just looking slightly behind him to come up and power through the ball, pulling his head backwards to come forwards.
Yeah, thank you very much, Andy. So we're all in agreement that the player in green is going to head the ball, or favourite to head the ball, and the ball's dropping pretty much vertically down onto his head. I'm of the opinion this player in red and white is not playing any part of the challenge, but the majority think he's coming in, and the explanation is this eye is sort of squinting, which would suggest that he's sort of bodily protecting himself as the player in green comes to meet him. But this is where we have the calculated average. And as we see, Andy's quite a way away from this calculated average in the magnifier. So as lead judge, I will remove Andy's. Now, what this does is it drops the calculated average down, because obviously Andy was higher up, and mine's now popping out the top. So I'm going to come through you all and see if you want mine also removed, which brings it down into a very, very tight cluster. Or indeed you're happy with mine in giving this calculated average, which you'll see there. So it's either the calculated average stays above Alain's, or with mine removed, just drops in a little bit lower, but moves quite a bit because I'm obviously higher now. So I will come to you, Andy, and then I'll come through to the rest of you. I know I removed you, but as ever, it's a panel opinion now.
Thanks, Matt. I would leave yours in because, again, I feel that the average for me is higher than where it is now.
Understood. Leo?
Yeah, I would leave yours in as well, Matt. I agree with Andy.
Okay. Alain?
I would keep yours, Matt. I think it's quite credible and it's close enough to the cluster.
Okay. Liam?
Yeah, I agree with the fellow guys. Yeah, leave yours in. I think it's credible. It's just it's a tad, but it doesn't draw it down too. I think it drops it down a little bit too low. So yeah, I'm happy where it is.
Okay. Hugh?
Yeah, happy with it in. I think it's balanced. And it's a good average too.
Yeah. Kieran?
Yes, Matt, I agree with the judges. I think yours is a very credible position, so I would keep yours in.
Okay. Renee?
Yeah, sorry, Matt, on my own here, but I actually would have removed you because I just like the average a little bit lower.
Yeah, you're lower. That's fine. Okay, so I will redraw the lines just so we can show the players of the competition how tight this choice is now. Where we come up through yours at the bottom, Rennie. So it's a very, very tight lineup from this player in green. And we've got a slightly wider spread with mine at the top and Rennie and Leo's at the bottom. But it shows it's a good tight cluster. And as I said, this calculated average. Okay, so Charlie, after myself removing Andy for the reasons given and a panel vote to leave my own choice in, we're going to go forward with this calculated average with the 7 remaining judges taken into consideration.
Thanks, Matt. If you're all happy, then yeah, please click submit. Thank you, judges. The coordinates selected are x1359, y1264. These coordinates will now be passed to the auditing company assets to calculate the winner of the competition, and they will then inform BOTB. That concludes the judging process. Thank you.